1962. Another year, another room. This time the room belongs to Jake, as I thought I did. So, now I am to be alone again. Why is that so hard to write? They said it would get easier if I went on, that memories could be exorcised like ghosts by simply facing them. But I am alone again, and I must face that first.
A word with you, if you please. Yours, I believe. I am waiting, Miss Blake. For what? An explanation of how you manage to average 20 invoices a day when the average for this pool is well over 32. And how you also manage to contrive that 14 out of those 20 are unusable because of typing errors.
Typing errors?
See for yourself. You won't have to look very hard. Well?
But it isn't as if I've got the totals wrong or anything important.
That isn't the point. You'll have to redo them.
Redo them?
I have told you more times than I care to think about. I will not have shoddy work leaving this office. You will have to stay late tonight and finish them.
But they're perfectly all right.
They are the work of an idle and distracted mind. No doubt you think your ruminations about life are more important than your work here, Miss Blake. You are not employed to use your imagination. You are here for only one purpose: to use the basic skills for which you were hired. Well, that's all. You can go.
Right.
My dear Anna, this is the coward's way out, I know. But I knew if I tried to say it to your face, I wouldn't have the courage to go through with it. I'm sorry. I think it's best we call a halt for a while. Not just because of Harvey. He was only the catalyst. But because it's simply not working out between us, and we have to find out why. You once told me, when I said I might hurt you one day, that I couldn't. That you were more resilient than I was. Well, I hope that's true. I have something to say to you, and I don't know how. I don't want to be cruel, yet it has to be said if we're ever to have a real chance together. You tried to please too much, Anna. Whatever I said, you agreed with. Oh, I know why. You told me why. You were frightened of losing me. Ironic, then, that it was just that which should eventually separate us. You said you loved me, yet you gave me nothing to love in return. I didn't want your subservience, your compliance. I wanted to be challenged, and yet you always gave in. It was like reaching the edge of a precipice. Was it because you were frightened of giving yourself? Really giving yourself to someone else? You see, it's possible we're not that unalike after all. I'd still like to think we could make it together. Really. But in the meantime, while we're thinking things out, hang on to the flat. I'll be staying with friends and be in touch.
Did I wake you?
No, I was just having a rest.
Not like you, resting in the middle of the day.
Wasn't expecting visitors, was I? Shouldn't you be at work?
I packed it in. I never intended staying there forever, did I?
What do you intend doing now? If only you'd stayed on at school while you had the chance, taken some exams. You wouldn't have to...
Mother, please. I have enough of that from Alec. Let me do that.
probably let you have some more next week.
That isn't what I came for.
Isn't it? Well, it's there if you need it.
Mother, can't we just once talk properly, openly?
Anna, you left home 2.5 years ago. Apart from the occasional telephone call, I have seen you precisely twice during that time. But now you're ready to visit, you're ready to talk, and you just assume that I am as well, don't you?
I thought you might want to. Is that so unreasonable?
Why? Did you get bored with Alec and Olivia? Oh, I heard all about it from Morris. Cosy Christmas, parties, weekends in the country. Well, I am sorry, Anna, but I just can't compete with that sort of thing. I'm not that sophisticated.
I was going to come up for the new year, if you remember.
Because you wanted to show off your new boyfriend.
That isn't fair. I wanted you to meet him.
Oh, why did you call it off, then? Afraid it might be a little dull here after London.
Mother, you're just being totally jealous and ridiculous, and you know it.
Oh, am I?
Is it always going to be like this with you and me?
I think I want it to be. I think I'm any happier than you are.
Then why do we always end up like this?
Perhaps we want too much from each other.
Like what, love?
Before that, there has to be forgiveness, doesn't there?
Forgiveness, blame. I told you I don't blame you for anything, Mother. If anything, it's the other way round. I'm not responsible for what happened between you and Alec, and I won't be made the scapegoat any longer.
Now who's being ridiculous?
Tell me it isn't true, then. Tell me it was just my imagination that you always preferred Morris to me. That you resented me because I reminded you of the one thing you've been trying to forget. The one time you were human enough to make a mistake like the rest of us.
It isn't true. It's never been true.
Well, look at me when you say it, then.
Satisfied?
Oh, you're wrong, you know, Mother. You're much more sophisticated than you think. When it comes to finesse, you leave everyone else standing.
Anna. Anna, don't.
You want to know I came to see you? I came because I was lonely and unhappy, and because I know now what it's like to love somebody and lose them through your own fault. I wanted you to tell me that in spite of everything I've ever seen, everything I've ever known, that it still isn't impossible to love successfully. But I came to the wrong house, didn't I?
Job, can't you? I always understood there was a continual need for typists.
There is, if you don't mind sitting in a dingy typing pool 8 hours a day.
The pay's quite reasonable, though, isn't it?
That's not really the point.
Well, I'd have thought it was, if you still want to be self-sufficient. Wasn't that the whole point of the exercise?
Yes, all right, Berenice.
Well, it was, wasn't it? How was your mother, anyway?
Fine. She looked older.
Oh?
I suppose there's something else I'd have to start thinking about soon. I mean, there's only so long she can carry on alone, isn't there?
Surely not. She seems to cope very well.
Well, now perhaps. What about another 5-10 years' time, eh?
Anna will have a home of her own by that time. We can sort something out between us. Anyway, she's so independent. The last thing she'd want to do is to be a burden on anybody.
Which should suit you down to the ground, since it's obviously the last thing you want as well. She comes round here, you just pass her around like she's an inconvenience.
Nonsense.
You make her feel like she's an intruder. She spends half her time apologising in case she's upset your domestic plan, and the other half dodging about doing errands for you.
Always Terrence has developed quite a tongue, Anna. Have you noticed? Fortunately, I know better than to rise to it. I can't say the same for the baby. He always seems to know when I'm tense. You feel him, Morris?
It stopped.
I'll make the coffee.
Pregnancy doesn't suit her.
No?
It makes her tired, which makes her ratty, which makes me ratty. Should be more understanding, I suppose.
You'll have to be soon.
If I can get her looking. So, how did young Jake go down with Mother? Did he behave himself suitably?
He didn't go. We're not together at the moment.
I'm sorry.
Are you? I rather thought you were going to say I told you so. After all, you did give me all those warnings about him, didn't you?
Oh, no, only said the forewarned was forearmed. Didn't
Yes, well, it was a little late, I'm afraid. I'd already lost my armour.
What about the flat? Have you still got somewhere to live?
For the time being, until we know how things work out.
Well, you think you might get back together again, then?
It's the only thing that keeps me going. Oh, I know I should have more pride, but I don't. Ridiculous, isn't it? There's Mother entertaining some vain and futile hope Alec might one day return, and me doing the same with Jake. History repeating itself.
And if you don't get back together?
After I'd seen Mother, I couldn't go back there to the flat. All I seemed to do was waiting for the phone or the postman, like Moses waiting for a sign, and I hate myself for it.
You can stay here as long as you like, you know that, don't you?
What about Berenice?
Well, there's one indefatigable way of getting around Berenice, and that's to discuss names for our prospective offspring. Ad nauseam and with unlimited enthusiasm. Short milk.
That was quick. Business.
No, it was Alec. Whatever you said to Mother did the trick. She's given in about the divorce.
Why? Why now?
Apparently, she said she was just too tired to fight it any longer.
Did I frighten you?
I wasn't expecting anybody.
I tried phoning. You always seem to be out these days. I needed some books.
I went away for a few days. To my family.
Oh. Well, since you're back, how about dinner tonight? I could book a table.
I could do something here.
No. Let's treat ourselves, just for once. I'll pick you up about 8, okay?
Good evening. John McGregor, your television court reporter from the Hull Assizes. Capital murder. John Gordon, a 22-year-old lorry driver, stands accused.
What's so funny?
Your face. You look like you're about to be executed.
Perhaps that's how I feel. Well, isn't that what all this is about? Like a last cigarette for the condemned prisoner.
Don't be silly. Thank you. What did you make of my letter? Did you agree with any of it?
Some of it. Most of it, I suppose.
And?
I don't know what you expect me to say.
Well, did you understand why I had to write it?
To give us another chance. That's what you said, isn't it?
And to explain where we'd gone wrong.
The post-mortem.
Not at all.
Perhaps you regarded it more as a tutor's report. You being the expert in such matters and me being the rank novice.
Anna.
I thought that's what you wanted. Me to stand up for myself, argue back. That's what you said, isn't it?
Not just for the sake of it. Don't be absurd.
My mistake, I'm sorry.
This isn't how I wanted it to go at all.
No?
I wanted to see you. I wanted to tell you that none of it's your fault. You've nothing to blame yourself for. Nothing at all.
Perhaps you'd like to issue a certificate to that effect.
Anna, please. Can't you see it's better that we face it together now and release each other than just let the whole thing drag pointlessly and painfully on?
Better for whom?
Both of us, of course.
Of course. Well, there's no need to look like that, Jake. You've behaved like the perfect gentleman. You could have just written another letter or gone off without saying anything. And I shan't make a fuss if that's what you're worried about. I shall just drink my medicinal brandy and say goodbye in a nice, civilized way, which is all that you want, isn't it?
I want us to be friends. Why not?
Because somehow or other I seem to have some pride left. I'm just not prepared to settle for that.
And if that's all I can offer you...
Why don't you just go, Jake?
I'm not just going to walk out and leave you.
Well, you can always pay on your way out. And as you get into your car, you can congratulate yourself on having handled the whole thing so smoothly. Thank God, you can say. She behaved surprisingly well in the circumstances. That way there won't be any last ugly scenes, will there? To cloud all those beautiful and sentimental memories I'm sure you must have of me.
You've changed, you know, Anna.
I thought that's what you wanted.
Not like this.
Perhaps I'm just learning to fight back.
Come on. It's not a war, is it?
Not if you're the victor, no.
After Provide your own towels and toilet paper. Clean sheets once a week. Take your own rubbish down to dustbins in the yard. Fire's on the meter, still in the throat. Hot water's the same. And that's about it. It's the only one we'll have left.
How much?
£5 a week, 2 weeks in advance. We've all got a living to earn, love.
I'll move in straight away.
Just as you like. And there's no visitors after 11 p.m. House rule.
Anna? Anna? Hello?
Don't worry, it's strictly temporary until I get another job.
I thought you had a job. Well, your mother told mine you were doing really well. A private secretary or something.
Slight exaggeration. I was in a typing pool until I couldn't stand another second, so I chucked it in.
To do what?
I am, as they say, allowing the state to subsidise me. I'm on the dole.
Oh, Anna.
Not exactly the dizzy heights the nuns had in store for me, I know, but I get by. Sugar?
No, thanks.
Anyway, tell me about you. What have you been up to?
I'm at the university, studying English and philosophy. I know, it's hard to believe, isn't it? I never even thought I'd make the entrance exam. I mean, you were always the clever one of us both. But it's fantastic, Anna. It really is. Well, not just the academic part, but the life that goes with it. The people you meet, the freedom. It's like having a new family. Everyone in the same boat, away from home for the first time. I'm thinking of going in for journalism, actually. It's just a pipe dream, I know. But it gives one something to aim for, doesn't it?
I suppose so.
You know, I've often thought about you.
Yes?
And you haven't changed a bit. Not a jot.
Neither of you. You look wonderful.
It's nice, isn't it? I spend half my grant money on clothes. It's wicked, I know, but I just can't help myself. How's Morris?
Fine. He's married, did you hear?
Married? Or not?
Berenice, yes.
I don't believe it.
I've been invited to the christening of their firstborn. She had it last week, a boy.
Morris, a father. Will you go?
I'm not too hot on family gatherings these days. What did they say, Rachel, when I didn't go back to school that term?
The nuns?
Everyone.
What do you think they said? But they all thought you were destined for Oxford or somewhere equally exotic. The dreaming spires and all that. Well, they seemed to think you had a very good chance and that you threw it away. Why did you leave, Anna? Was it because of Jonathan?
No. I just had this notion that I should, that life should be about striking out and taking decisions rather than just sitting back and letting things happen. I was very certain about it. It was the first time I've ever been certain about anything in my life. We're very different in that way, you and I.
Do you regret it?
Does that answer your question?
Can't your family help you?
When you've repeatedly declared unilateral independence, it's a bit difficult to admit the whole thing's been a giant cock-up, isn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. Not your fault.
Going on about myself.
It was thoughtless. It was perfectly natural, and I'm pleased things have worked out for you, really.
And they will for you too, I'm sure. I have to go now. I have a seminar in an hour, and I've some books to collect first.
Well, now you know where I am. Come again.
I'd like to, very much. You know, when I was leaving home for university, Father took me on one side. I thought it was the usual lecture on the facts of life. But all he said was to remember that whatever happened, whatever mistakes I made, the family was always there, like a safety net. And I shouldn't be too proud to use it if I needed to.
I'm quite aware of the alternatives open to me, thank you, Rachel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I always did know when to open my mouth, didn't I? Forgive me.
Don't be silly. It's just things aren't that simple, that's all.
They used to be, remember?
Yes. Will you come again?
Definitely. Chin up, eh?
Oh, darling, no, don't suck your fingers.
Smile, smile.
Oh, I didn't know he was taking it. Thank you.
Anna, my nephew Simon. I don't think you've met.
Hello.
Pleased to meet you.
We managed to persuade him out of hibernation for the great event. Actually, this is one of his rare public appearances. Well, I'll leave you two to get to know each other. I must see to my guests.
Do you live around here?
In Manchester. And you?
Oh, the Lake District. My mother runs a boarding house there. I sort of help out when I'm not working.
Working?
Yes, I'm working on a thesis. The decline of 19th century political idealism. Actually, Olivia did tell me what you did, but I'm afraid I've forgotten.
Oh, I doubt she did. I'm an out-of-work typist. Excuse me.
He has been fairly quiet.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're taking refuge as well, are you?
Something like that. Olivia landed me with her nephew.
Ah, simple Simon. No, not so simple, they say. Like some of this? I'm glad you could make it. We haven't seen much of you these days.
I had an ulterior motive.
I know.
You know?
Well, I know you and Jake have split up and you've walked out on your job. Why, is there more?
Well, aren't you going to say it's no surprise how you warned me and I didn't pay any attention? Isn't that the usual thing when the prodigal returns?
Is that why you came, to have your wrists smacked like an errant schoolgirl?
Well, I wouldn't blame you. You've been proved right, haven't you?
Oh, come on. It's not exactly something I take pleasure in, is it? And I was hoping, vainly apparently, that you came because you finally acknowledged you needed help and I might be able to give it to you.
What a handout. I got that offer from Mother.
She's probably no better at handling these things than I am. What I was going to offer was a home, at least till you, for the time being. give you a chance to start over again. What's the matter?
Nothing. Except I don't deserve it, do I?
Fortunately, my love, we don't all get what we deserve.
Have you discussed it with Olivia?
Certainly. She's all for it.
What can I think about it?
With one proviso. We're going up to the lakes for a few days. We promised to drive Simon back, and Olivia wants to see his mother again. It would be a break for you. You could think about it there, couldn't you? And before that bloody pride of yours starts blocking it, I've an ulterior motive as well, if it helps. I'm the prodigal father, too, aren't I? However you care to look at it. Except till now, you've never let me make up for it. So, if you like, we'd be doing each other a favor. Hmm?
This is Anna. It's incredible. How can you bear to leave it?
I don't. Except when I went to university. I always lived here.
What, at home?
Yes. Why, do you find that very unnatural?
Depends on the home, I suppose.
And on the individual. It's a question of temperament. I mean, the more love and security there is at home, the less chance you have of finding anything else to live up to it in later life. And so eventually you give up looking for it, I suppose. Sometimes I actually envy people like you know, in broken homes. At least it doesn't give you a false illusion about things, does it? I mean, you know what to expect, the difficulties that lie ahead.
Doesn't mean you can cope with them any better.
Well, at least you know how to survive them.
So, I packed my bags, left his flat, and went on the dole. The rest you know.
He sounds like a thoroughly selfish individual.
No. I just expected too much, that's all. I used to be able to talk to Morris, of course. Until Berenice, that is. Now all we have time for is to catch up, but never make any real progress somehow. I don't know. Aside from him and now you, I've never been able to talk to a man without it ending up as a sexual thing. It's just the way I've always regarded men, as if just being friends with them is somehow an insult.
To what?
I don't know. My attractiveness, I suppose.
You're not in any doubt about that, are you?
All the time. Aren't you?
Won't they miss us?
Oh, you don't know my mother's fringe parties. The house could burn down, they wouldn't notice. So, where are we going to go then?
Well, where haven't we been?
Oh, well, let's consult the oracle.
Oh, Knighton. I know Knighton. I went there once for a holiday with Rachel, a school friend of mine.
Problem solved, then. Well, is it as you remembered?
Yes. It's uncanny. We went shopping. And Rachel had a dreadful cold. Oh, and I had that feeling you get.
Deja vu, is it like you've been somewhere before?
Oh, you're prone to that kind of thing. You know, atmospheres, presentiments.
Haven't really thought about it. I suppose I must be. Now, I'll buy my own, all right?
Oh, you have to. In our hurry to come out, I forgot my wallet.
Very convenient. Go in there.
Why not?
I'm sorry, I just can't.
Well, don't I even rate an explanation?
Alec isn't my father. My father is a man my mother had an affair with during the war. The same man that owns that pub. His name's on the licensee plate. I haven't met him. I tried to years ago, but I couldn't find him. The only thing I know about him is his name. Frank Best.
Well, it could just be a coincidence.
And that feeling I had the last time I was here of deja vu, was that just a coincidence too?
Well, what do you want to do?
I told you I want to go.
Look, you don't know it's him. Why don't we find out?
How? By introducing me?
No, by asking a few discreet questions. You must know something about him apart from his name. Something we could check out. Look, you can't leave it like this, Anna. You'll have to find out one way or the other.
He came from Manchester, Ambrose Street. He was in the Navy. His father was a tailor.
Are you going to come with me or wait here? And well, you'll have to give me some money. I'll try not to be long.
Simon.
He isn't here. Let's go.
What do you want to drink?
Anything. A gin.
Gin and tonic, please. And a pint of bitter. Business isn't very brisk today.
It's early yet.
Well, you make your fortune later, then.
I only help out. It's my father's pub. Regular barmaids away.
Have you, been here long? I don't remember seeing you before.
12 years. I only help out sometimes on holidays.
I'll go and have a look in the other bar. Will you be all right? He's there.
How do you know?
Someone just called him Frank. Look, here he is now.
Chrissy, just give your mother a hand in the public. I'll take over here.
Right.
You, don't do hot meals by any chance, do you?
I'm afraid not, sir. There's the Blue Dragon up the road. They do meals. Unless you'd like a sandwich, of course.
Oh, that'll be fine, thank you.
Ham or cheese and tomato?
Anna? What kind of sandwich?
Anything.
Ham, thank you.
Ham it is. 2 ham in here when you can.
Oh, perhaps I could buy you a drink for your trouble.
That's very kind of you, sir. I'll have half a pint of bitter if I may. On holiday, are you?
Actually, we're just up from Manchester for a few days.
Oh, what part? I'm a Manchester man myself.
Ambrose Street.
I don't believe it. I was brought up there.
Really?
Has it changed much? How would you know? You're too young. Ambrose Street. My God. Just a minute, I'll see about those sandwiches.
What did you think of him?
What did you?
Nice, respectable, settled.
And ordinary.
What did you expect? No, don't answer that. You disappointed?
He looked like the archetypal textbook landlord and sounded like it.
You're disappointed. Why? Because you don't know what your mother could have seen in him.
Oh, I know exactly what she saw in him now. Until today, I always wondered how she could let someone so important out of her life. But he wasn't important, he was just everything Alec wasn't. Someone she'd grown up with whom she felt safe and familiar, and who didn't make her feel inferior and dull. Ironic. After so many years of acrimony and misunderstanding, it's really so simple. So simple.
Will you see him again?
I rather think it served its purpose, don't you? And besides, looking at him, he hasn't got anything to do with me at all, has he? Simon? You won't say anything inside about this, will you?
What, you don't want them to know?
It would just complicate things.
Well, I'll make myself scarce.
Hello? Morris! Where? Yes, yes, of course we'll come. How is she now? Yes, we'll come straight away. Goodbye, Morris. Celia's in hospital. She collapsed this afternoon. The doctors want us there immediately. They're not sure she'll make the night.
Oh, God.
You start packing. I'll see to the car.